Benoit saying Denis versus Ivan or Erslan, something like that. Prepolec. I apologize if I'm butchering this guy's name, but the actual name is written in the description of, or rather in the title of this video. So my apologies. Let me actually turn on the light. Yes. So, but saying Dennis versus Prepolec, Twizy Rich BSD round one is a lock. Yeah. Yeah, I could see that, but you never know. Whenever a prospect who has been on a hot streak encounters any problems, I think they start to perform a little bit more cautiously. Look at Mike Malott. Look at the Bonfim brothers. A lot of these people, after they lose, especially when they came in steamrolling everyone and just running through everyone, whenever they come across any adversity, they normally change how they approach fights and start to fight a little bit more cautiously. That might be a problem that I might foresee. However, in all honesty, even when it was Joel Alvarez versus Benoit and Denis, if you have been looking at if you saw my predictions, I actually picked Benoit and Denis to actually win that particular fight. I was never really confident in that particular pick, but I still felt like Benoit and Denis was being overlooked because, oh, of course, he lost to Dustin Poirier, the guy who just almost went to a decision with Islam Makhachev, the pound for pound number one fighter in the world currently, right? So we're going to be hard on him for that, or for losing to Renato Moicano, who is ranked in the top 10 currently. So I don't feel like a lot of people are giving Benoit and Dennis a lot of credit because he lost to top contenders for some reason, right? And I think Joel Alvarez is getting the Carlos Prates treatment. You know, a lot of fans are like, yeah, Joel Alvarez was going to run through him and destroy him. To be honest, he might have, but I didn't actually feel that way. I felt like it was a coin flip, and I think that coin flip um, would give Benoit and Dennis a bit of an advantage to some, a slight, not the massive. I mean, Joel Alvarez could have won that fight, but in all honesty, I had a bit of confidence in Benoit and Dennis in that particular fight. But that's neither here nor there. That's not the fight that I'm breaking down right now. So, Benoit, St. Denis versus Prepolec. The only advantage I would give to Prepolec is striking defense. I think that's probably the only thing he might be potentially good at. He is going to be a little bit better defensively. He knows how to avoid getting hit. Prepolec hasn't necessarily performed really well. I think he used to be in the UFC, if I'm not mistaken. And then he's coming back right now for some reason. I honestly think St. Dennis is going to run through this guy. Tuesday Rich feels like it's going to be in the first round. I honestly agree, but it doesn't matter how the fight plays out, whether it goes to a decision, which I highly doubt, or it ends in a finish. I think Benoit St. Dennis is going to dominate this fight. I think he's going to run through him. I'd be shocked if he doesn't, especially because I had so much confidence in Benoit St. Dennis actually beating Joel Alvarez. So I genuinely feel like St. Dennis is just going to run through this guy. To be honest, yeah, I don't think there's much to break down. St. Dennis has a 100% finishing rate. What that means is whenever St. Dennis wins a fight, he wins it via finish. He doesn't get to a decision. What do you call him? Benoit and Dennis on the feet, they throws a lot. Like he throws a lot of strikes, right? The only advantage is that maybe Prepolec might be defensively good, but even then, I don't think it's going to be good enough. On the ground, I think Benoit and Dennis is going to dominate, especially because I feel like Prepolec does not have a good takedown defense. So, um, yeah, I honestly don't see how this guy actually wins this fight. Maybe he's decent. I guess we'll find out. But my subscribers and I are going with Benoit and Denis on this one. Let me respond to you, Twizy Rich, before I go to the last fight. Um, the starting betting line on over and under was actually um, half around. Live, never seen that. Twizy Rich, this might look like Dos Santos versus Scroggin. Can you remind me? I think I remember this fight, but it slipped my mind. In any case, guys, yeah, I think Benoit St. Denis might be a lock, but he's like minus 1,000, so I don't know. It's up to you. It's up to you to decide, but man, minus 1,000 is crazy. But yeah, Zaleski versus, oh, yeah. Zach Scroggin, yeah. No, that's true. Like, it's gonna be a one-way. I think it's gonna be one-way traffic, to be honest. He's going to actually dominate this one. So I'm going to go to break down the last fight for today, which is going to be Navajo Sterling versus Ivan Erslan or something like that. I don't even know if I'm saying his name properly. Anyway, join me on the next live. If you're new to the channel, go to the live section or even the shorts and video section. You'll find all my breakdowns and predictions and statistics and everything else that's important. Um, let's go to the next. Deuces.